Welcome to Mercy's Designs. My name is Mercy and I sell Stampin' Up! Products. In today's tutorial I want to show you how I made this pull tab flip card, and I used the New Wonders Hostess set. Okay, so the pull tab, it will measure 2 by 6 and you score it at 2 inches and 2.5, and then you punch at the end. You also need to have layering mats. If you do not have the rectangle, then you could modify this as well. So to get started, we're going to bring in our stamping trimmer, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring. So we're going to first score at the 2-inch mark here. So let me make sure I get this in the screen, and 2.5. So on the larger part, you will want to bring in your scalloped tag topper, which I have here, or you could use the new one. My mind is drawing a blank on the name, but there's another one that just came out this year. Okay, so you just want to center this and punch. Very straightforward. And then we're going to be burnishing. So you want to fold these inward. So it's a valley fold. And if you get it a little off, you can fix it at this point, which I did get a little off. I don't know why. There are a lot of variables when you're cutting cardstock sometimes. Okay, so that is it for now for that part. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to set that aside for the time being. And we're going to bring in our beautiful little cute adorable girl who is writing a note, it looks like. And this is a distinctive set, so it's very realistic and cool, and you can color over it if you stamp it in black, or if you don't want to do much coloring, it actually looks really cool even without colored. So I'm going to get my head in the way because this is a very tight area and I want to try to get it all in, and I did a pretty good job. So you can see it goes off a little bit, but that's not too big of a deal. So the other thing I wanted to stamp is the inside, so I'll just set that aside and get out my terracotta tile. And I hope you don't mind, I'm doing this as kind of like a little bit of a surprise card. You're not going to see it until the end. Usually I show it at the beginning, but this time I thought, oh, it might be fun to just have it as a surprise kind of. Okay, so I kind of messed up a little bit there, but it's not too bad. Here is my, this was Seaside spray, and I'm bringing in an outside stamp, and this is from Leave a Little Sparkle, and I thought it'd be cool just to have some stars around here. This is like a really fun kind of celebrating card. It'd be good for a lot of things, but you know, primarily it's a kind of a congratulations card if I had to put it in a category. So there we have our sentiment, and how this is going to work I'll do that a little bit later, but for now I'm going to go ahead and do some coloring. So sit back and relax, and we will start the coloring. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the coloring, and now we will work on assembling the card. So I'm going to bring in our base here's our base and some of our pieces. And we're going to bring this back in, and I will bring in this pulled tie to show you kind of how it works. If you have a smaller sentiment, this works great. You can kind of have a mat, but if you have a larger one, you can use a larger one like what I did here. So to assemble this, the first thing we want to do is to go ahead and add some tear and tape here. So I will do that. Well, let's see. Yeah, here's my tear and tape. For a second, I thought maybe I didn't have it. Okay, so kind of came, I think my son might have been messing with it because it's a little undone. He likes to play with my stuff. So you actually could put this panel on first if you wanted, or you could do it this way. I kind of like doing it this way, and the reason is it you don't want to have, okay, I forgot to add this together. You don't want it too far over, and the inside piece you want to rest up against it. Well, I'll show you in a second, it'll make sense. So I kind of like doing it this way, but you could first put this piece on first. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to be careful to leave a little bit of that score line. And then I'll just add it like that. Now for this part, it's going to almost match. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some liquid glue because it'll be easier to slide into place. But I'm being careful not to get too close to the edges. So I'm just going to slide this in. Again, you could, if you had a smaller sentiment, you could use a smaller thing, you know. So I'm just making sure that rests really nicely, and it does. So now we have that. The next part is going to be going ahead attaching these. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be adding our pole with the classic label. I'm sorry, I didn't quite explain that very well, but to be able to slide it through, you need to do this. So what you do is center and push it all the way down into the punch. So I'm just centering this and punching it out. Now, you do not want to attach it yet. What you want to do is actually do this part. So what I'm doing is sliding this in, and I'm going to center this. So what I want to do is add a little strip of either glue or tear and tape, and I'm going to opt for the tear and tape. You don't want to do the whole thing because you don't want to interfere here. So you just want to strip along here. And I think I made this a little large. Yes, I did. Okay, so again, you don't want it to go into this area. So I'm just, it should be fine. So the main thing here now is to center it. So I want to center that correctly. And that looks good. And now I'm going to create a little notch here. So what I like doing is centering it like it's going to be, pretty much. And then take your pencil and kind of where you want it to be, you mark. So I'm just marking with a little bit of a pencil, and I'm going to bring my 1.5 inch punch and go ahead and punch that out. And you don't want a lot taken out, just a teeny bit actually. I'm trying to look at this squarely. And if you have less is better, if anything, but you do want a little bit off. So very little. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my either dimensionals, or you can add the foam tape. I kind of like doing the foam tape because it is quite a big area. So I'm just gonna 3 pieces and I'm done, which is kind of cool. All right, so another thing you want to keep in mind is you do not want to add any, okay, so the way I had that kind of made it look weird, but I had it upside down. What you do not want is anything interfering here. So I'm just going to add a strip here, here, and down here. So nothing in this area. Here, here, 3 sides. Okay, so this card it does go pretty quickly. You just have, if you make yourself a template, it'll make it a lot easier. Once you get it kind of down, it's a very easy card to make. So I'm just going to center this, here. Oh, I forgot one thing real quick, and that is adding the ribbon. So you want to go ahead, add a piece of ribbon before doing that part. It'd actually be better even earlier than this. So here we go. I'm just going to bring in my stapler real quick and go ahead and do this part. It would be better, again, like to do this before you even attach, but I forgot, obviously. A little boo-boo. Do as I say, not as I did, I guess, right? Okay, so this is the reason why you want to have this little tab opening, because the staple will kind of catch otherwise. So I'm just going to quickly center this, and we will have this card assembled. Sorry about all my boo-boos. Yeah, it wouldn't be interesting if I did it perfectly, right? It's more like a blooper reel today, sorry. Okay, so this part you just glue straight onto the card base. Nothing too complicated there, and then we'll decorate the inside. So I hope you found this helpful, and we'll give this card a try. I think it's a lot of fun and so cute. So it's like, boom, see? And people will know to pull it because of the ribbon. And then you just push it back in to get it to lay flat. And it does a pretty good job laying flat, I think. I mean, not 100%, but. Okay, so here is for the inside. And I always like to add a little bit of paper at the bottom. I think it adds a lot, but in case I do not get it straight, I do recommend doing that stamping first and then doing that. So I'm going to stamp congratulations. That one's good. And then this is a little strip of DSP, and this is from the 2019 to 2021 in color 6x6 pack. And I think it's really pretty, these like, well, script. All right, so we're gonna bring our card back in. I'm just going to add a few dots here. If I made a real big boo-boo, by adding only a little bit of glue, I could probably pry it up with minimal damage. Okay, so this is our card. So cute. I've been seeing these on Pinterest and on YouTube, and they're different variations, but I thought this one worked the best, these dimensions. So here is our little card, and she is so cute. And I will bring back in some of my templates just so you can take a look if you want to take a screen capture and make your own. I highly recommend that. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing. If you have any stamping needs, please email me at mewants3@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you order with the host code. And happy stamping.